I have come to a level where I am seeing Bhagavad-Gita everywhere. So why don't any of you have the same vision like me? I will give you guys an example. You are in a game on the ground floor and seriously involved in a game. You have to score goals to win the game. On the other hand, I'm sitting on a tree, and from there I can clearly see that this game of life where you are seriously involved is fake. My vision is vast. I see you circling around that small vision of yours, and there is no fault of yours because you have to climb up the tree to have my vision. I can clearly see the vast endless circle is Bhagavad Gita. Up from there. Don't worry, you all will have that vision one day, sooner or later. The wondrous part is that going in the negative way too, you would end up with Gita. But in that whole journey, you would be making your life worse gradually and finally the hell. And then you would see Gita everywhere in the end. So you can also say that I am future of all of you guys. You all would preach Gita like me one day, but with your own vision. This journey of life is not so small because from where I'm watching it's vast, and that's why I am able to predict your future. Unlike astrological predictions, which are not 100% guaranteed, every human would eventually go through Gita and is 100% guaranteed. I'm not forcing you to go through this now if you have no interest, because from my height you are already a part of Gita. It's just you are not able to see it because you have partial vision. And guys, with Gita, there are only benefits with 0% losses. And it depends on you how much benefits you can take out of it. As Gita is limitless treasure available for every human being. And no matter if someone takes a huge amount out of it, its limit stays the same, which is infinite. But I too have flaws. I also fall from the tree many times. It's not that I always stay up, and that is called the Maya effect. For that to understand properly, you can watch the Matrix movies. Guys, all these Christopher Nolan movies as well are all inspired from Gita. They just added entertainment and made fictional stories. But Gita is pure, genuine knowledge. Let's continue. It is a very interesting thing that by awakening the lust of others, we awaken our own lust. And in quenching the lust of others, we quench our own lust. In reality, whatever we do to others, deep down we are doing it to ourselves. The truth is that one can only pretend to do things with others. Everything that is done to others is ultimately done with just oneself. It is useful because people don't think that is useful to someone else who has set out on a journey. So it is useful for you, it is meaningful to you. So, but please don't think that it is useful to someone else who has set out on a journey. It is actually useful for you, it is meaningful for you. Perhaps if it had been said as I am saying, the wife might not have been even praying. She will think and then say everything is fine. But she has a desire to do so much for her dead husband that maybe he can find an easy path, the path to happiness, the door to heaven. It is the basic reason for her prayer. Because while we are alive, we only take each other to the gates of hell, push each other into misery. Therefore, after death, regrets and repentance begin. After death, the husband seems to love his wife as much as he has never done in his life. Repentance begins. He starts doing exactly the opposite of what he did while his wife was alive. Whatever the son was doing with his father when he was alive, he started doing something else after his death. The father was never respected while alive. After death, the son puts up father's photographs and offers flowers. The son never touched his feet while he was alive. After death, the son collects the ashes of his father and take them to Ganga, the holy river. Had the living father told his son to take him to Ganga for an adventure trip, the son would have not taken him by mistake. But the son takes the dead father to Ganga. Deep down in this world of ours, we are mistreating the living so much that we can only apologize to the dead, nothing else. That's why the wife can do it for her husband, the husband can do it for his wife, the son can do it for his father, the son can do it for his mother, might not do it for themselves. So they do it so much after their death that they might not even do it to themselves. Therefore, an attempt has been made to convey a very psychological truth by giving a very wrong reason. The only truth is that we are able to pacify our own lust through the efforts we make to pacify the lust of others. And this is not a small thing, but this should be done only after knowing. And now it will happen only after knowing, because the era changes, the maturity of the brain changes. If there are sweets kept in the house, we tell the children that there is a ghost in the room. Don't go there. There are no ghosts. There are sweets. But the child should not eat too many sweets. And there is no way to explain to the child now, right now, that if he eats too many sweets, he will be harmed. So a ghost has to be created. The work is done. The child does not go because of the ghost. Because the child becomes young afterwards. So as the child grows, now tell him that there is a ghost. He says, let it be, no worries. Rather, because of the ghost, more attraction is created and he goes further towards. Well, maybe he wouldn't have gone if there was no lie about the ghost in the first go. Now it is appropriate that the whole thing should be explained to the youth. No more lies now. All the concepts that humanity had created in its childhood have now become disorganized. Now it is appropriate to say them directly and clearly. When Gita was said 5000 years ago or even earlier, which you will know that it was from the beginning, the concept that were expressed in the very early stages of human development have now become laughable. If we want to save them, it is necessary to reveal their secrets. It is necessary to tell them clearly that this is why they exist. So while comparing with the previous example, those talks are not ghosts, they are sweets. And what are the disadvantages of eating sweets? They must be clearly stated so that it is up to the listener to decide whether he wants to eat sweets or not. Because Gita never forces you to do anything. Man has matured, and that is why man is appearing irreligious in the whole world. That is man's maturity. It is not irreligious. In fact, for the mature man, for the adult humanity, for the matured humanity, the principles which were given to humanity in childhood, now there is a need to give those souls new bodies again, so that the concepts are clear to the new generation. That's why Gita has to be taught again and again. O Kaunteya, the words, etc., that are contaminated by the senses like eyes, speech, etc., and that give pleasure and pain like cold and heat, they are impermanent due to their origin and destructible and are not permanent. Therefore, O Bharata, Arjuna, you bear them. So Krishna said all these words. So then he explains what he said before that. So he says, whatever is born dies, whatever is created is destroyed, whatever is created will disintegrate and end. Krishna is saying, remember this, Bharat, remember this, that whatever has been created will be destroyed and whatever has been created will disappear. What is born will die. If there is remembrance of this, if there is memory of this, if there is consciousness and awareness of this, then there is no reason left for sorrow for its extinction. And since there is no reason for sorrow in its extinction, then there is no reason for happiness in its existence as well. So, when you become at a very high level, so both of these effects, good and the bad, doesn't have any impact on you. It's just like in the beginning we are just attracted towards the good, and even some people are attracted towards the bad, but the end is Bhagavad Gita.